The Kylian Mbappe we have all been waiting for is back in business. With 5 goals in 2025, the Frenchman is Real Madrid's most prolific player this year. But how far can Mbappe go this season, and could he potentially win the Ballon d'Or if he keeps it up? Let's find out. Yes, this could be one of the most iconic comebacks in football history if it happens, and people are really starting to think about it after watching Mbappe's return from the ashes. Yes, at the end of November, Kylian was arguably at the lowest point of his career after missing penalties in crucial games against Liverpool and Athletic Bilbao, but less than 60 days later, Kylian is gaining momentum like no other player in world football right now. Rafinha. He is the only other top 5 league player apart from Mbappe to have scored or assisted 5 goals in all competitions in 2025. But the difference is that one of Rafinha's goals was this. While the Frenchman was scoring all types of spectacular beauties, including this first-time finish against Las Palmas. Yes, of course, don't get me wrong, Rafinha is also in perfect form and arguably Barcelona's best player this season, but Mbappe's form is really shaping the way we've been used to for the past 7 to 8 years. However, this has all come after his poor first 6 months at the Santiago Bernabeu. It really feels like he's come out of nowhere. But the big question is the difference in his game due to some positional changes from Ancelotti, or is it all down to his mental shift? Well, the answer lies in both. First, he recently said in the press conference before the game against Salzburg that the switch was always about the mentality, that in Real Madrid you always have to be competitive and ready to deliver. He also revealed that his winning mentality has been somewhat overshadowed by Madrid's greatness. I was so humble because you come to Real Madrid, they've won everything, they're the biggest club. So yes, obviously the biggest reason for Mbappe's revival has been his mental change. Of course, we can't judge him for his poor performance in the first half of the season because you definitely need a period of adjustment when you come to Madrid. There are other cases such as Jude Bellingham, who made a huge impact right from the start and finished the 2024-25 season with 36 goals in all competitions as a midfielder. But let's be honest, there is a slight difference between the two situations. Upon his arrival from Borussia Dortmund, Jude was seen as a young star who could eventually compete with the best in the world, whereas Mbappe was already a global superstar, arguably biggest in the world. And when you come into a new environment, when the expectations are at their maximum, you need a bit of peace, a bit of quiet to be able to show your top potential. Fortunately, Mbappe was already used to this kind of environment where the expectations, the stares and the spotlight are all on you. Yes, you remember what it was like for Mbappe to play for PSG. The pressure in Ligue 1 was almost non-existent, as we didn't need the bookmakers' odds to know that the Parisians were favourites to win the title from the first to the last match day of the season. However, when it came to the Champions League, the situation there was completely different. Billions of euros spent over the course of a decade, the best players in the world arriving, attacking partnerships, a whole bunch of top-class managers, and in the end, it was all down to Mbappe to take full responsibility. He has been under enormous pressure throughout his time in Paris, but it peaked in his final season. At the start of 2023-24, when Mbappe was heavily linked with a move to Real Madrid, it was said that he wouldn't play a single minute of football if he didn't renew his contract. A few weeks later, when PSG and owner Nasser Al-Khalifa felt that they would look extremely stupid if they didn't use the best player in the world, they were inclined to play him. But at what cost? Mbappe had already lost all motivation and was already thinking about a move to Madrid, which was evident in a number of Champions League games. In the quarter-finals, he was a ghost of himself in the first leg against Barcelona. Yes, in the second leg, he eventually scored 2 goals, but both of them came when the Catalans were already a man down. Furthermore, one of those goals was from the spot, while the other was an 89th minute tap-in when it was already clear where the game was going. In the next round, Mbappe hit rock bottom. Against Borussia Dortmund, he was expected to take his side to the final, but instead, he ghosted like never before. In 180 minutes across both legs, Mbappe had a miserable 4 shots on target, without even coming close to threatening the opposition goal. Why am I telling you this? Because when you find yourself in such a miserable situation, Being labelled the best player in the world, but at the same time being criticised by both your current and future club, the most natural thing to do is to start doubting yourself. Yes, there were even Real Madrid fans who doubted him. Will he be the same for us, was a question that many Madridistas asked themselves while watching his final season in Paris. So, to return to the main topic, apart from the period of adaptation and getting into the right frame of mind, what was the other key factor in Mbappe's resurgence? Well, that would probably be Vini's injury in November and December. During that period, Mbappe was deployed on the wing rather than as a number 9. And that proved to be fundamental to his game. He scored against Liga, Getafe, Girona, and probably since the Atalanta game when he scored a trademark Mbappe-esque goal, controlling the ball perfectly with his left foot and unleashing a superb shot into the far corner. In my opinion, this was the first moment in a Real Madrid shirt in which we saw the old Mbappe. After that, he was arguably the man of the match against Pachuca, scoring and assisting in the Intercontinental Cup final. Then, again, 2 contributions against Sevilla in the final game of 2024. His next goal came against Barcelona in the Super Cup El Clasico when he was involved in a perfect counter-attack, started by Vinicius and finished by Mbappe after pocketing Alejandro Balde. By then it was clear we were seeing a different Kylian Mbappe. The run, the finesse, the explosiveness, the sharpness, all of that was there in the October El Clasico, but this time there were also the deadly shots that has made many goalkeepers regret their careers. It was a goal that made every Real Madrid fan hope that their last encounter with Barcelona would be forgotten. But the Catalans shifted the gears and the game was more or less over by half-time. But this disaster has given Madrid so much more than people think. By the way, if you like this video so far, subscribe so you never miss any of our uploads in the future. In this game, and especially in the second half, we really saw the incredible and unstoppable, magical Kylian Mbappe. Yes, the match was played in Saudi Arabia, not Qatar, but it definitely reminded us of the Mbappe we saw in the 2022 World Cup final. He scored the first goal to make it 1-0, then practically assisted the second for Real Madrid, punishing the Barca goalkeeper with his speed and earning him a red card. And from 5-2 up until the end of the game, it was all Mbappe. Chances created, amazing moves, roulettes, nutmegs, back heels. I assure you, if this had been Kylian Mbappe since the start of the season, Real Madrid wouldn't be just 7 points ahead of Barcelona in La Liga, but still, better late than never, right? In the domestic competition, Real Madrid are indeed 7 points clear of their arch-rivals and 2 ahead of Atletico Madrid. If everything goes according to plan, Mbappe could well win La Liga title in his first season abroad. It would be a fantastic answer to all those haters who said he can only do it in League One. But before you get too excited, Real Madrid fans, a word of warning. After the Valladolid game, Los Blancos face a tough run of fixtures, starting with a trip to Barcelona and a meeting with Espanyol. Then they have Atleti at home, the always difficult visit to Pamplona to face Osasuna. Girona, who finished third last year, at home, Real Betis away, Rayo Vallecano at home against whom they've already dropped points this season, and finally Villarreal on the road. So, I will say it here and now. If Real Madrid managed to win all these games, I think it would be fair to call them the new old Spanish champions. Yes, it's a tough run, but they shouldn't worry because they have a resurgent Mbappe up front, along with Vini and Jude, who have also stepped up in the last 2 months. But is it only La Liga that should fear Mbappe's form? No, of course not. In the Champions League, Real Madrid are likely to be in the playoffs unless a miracle happens and they qualify directly for the knockout stages. At the moment, they are 16th and they probably won't fall below that because they play Brest away in their last league phase game. This is important because the playoff teams between 9th and 16th will have their second leg playoff at home, which normally doesn't give them much of an advantage, but in Madrid's case, with a stadium like the Bernabeu, it means a lot. Furthermore, as things stand, Madrid will face either 17th place Juventus or 18th place Celtic in the playoffs, which sounds like a good opponent for Los Blancos. Of course, all this comes with the disclaimer that it will probably change dozens of times before this week's matches, so let's see what happens. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And also don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to learn more about Arsenal's struggles under Arteta. You can do that by clicking our latest upload. I'll catch you there.